British UFO expert claims that aliens are an advanced form of humans hiding under our oceans. A UFO expert has claimed that aliens have always been here and could actually be living under our ocean, which is what has protected them from the planet's ills over the years. NASA is planning to send an army of mini swimming robots to find the aliens in the oceans of other planets, such as a plan could also be used to detect signs of alien life beneath the mild-sink ice sheet of Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. But what about our home planet? Does NASA have any plan to explore our oceans? Have they already found everything about the only blue planet in our solar system? Or is something stopping them to do it? Interestingly, UFO expert Anna Whitty came forward with a strange theory that says aliens have been living under Earth's oceans for protection and have always been here on the planet. Anna Whitty, an author of the book UFO, A Fundamental Truth, made the claim on the official statement of Dr. Shirley Wright, who interviewed aliens found at the Roswell crash site in 1947. Whitty stated that aliens are actually just humans, but an advanced form. In a recently aired 2-hour documentary on the UFO crash called Roswell 75, The Final Evidence, Anna Whitty was featured alongside expert Philip Mantle, director and producer Spiros Melaris, and Dr. David Hall. The documentary also featured an interview where Dr. Shirley Wright, a former colleague of Albert Einstein, stated that the aliens inquired about human exploration inside the ocean. They asked how far into the ocean the humans traveled. Whitty did an interview with the Daily Star, elaborating more on her claim. She said that if whatever Wright had documented through her interview is correct, then it's more believable for the aliens to come from under the sea rather than from another planet. Now, if what Shirley said is right, it's more likely that aliens come from somewhere under the sea or caves or something like that rather than another planet. It makes sense because there's a lot of evidence on the planet that there has been a massive cataclysm every few thousand years, Whitty said. If humans on the surface are being reset to the Stone Age every several thousands of years, and these people are somewhere where they are more protected because they are underground, then perhaps their development in technology and intelligence is continuing on an upwards trajectory, whereas we are reset. It's also possible that maybe they aren't beings at all, but they can make you think you're seeing what you're not seeing, she said. The documentary dives deep into the incident, examining the eyewitness accounts, the involvement of the space propaganda by the major powers, as well as several secret projects that were assumed to be covered up with the help of this incident. Whitty's theory of aliens being underwater entities could have some meaning, as after all, there are videos of UFOs diving into the water and coming out of the water, and there's footage filmed in the CIC Combat Information Centers of the USS Omaha, July 15, 2019, in a warning area off San Diego. The footage depicts a UAP event series that reached the culmination with one of the unknown targets entering the water. No wreckage was found, and none of the unknown craft was recovered. Retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Richard French had served in the U.S. Army for more than 27 years. He was an alleged lead investigator of the Project Blue Book in the 1950s, and his job was to shoot down false reports of UFOs. In Newfoundland, Canadian province, he saw 2 aliens repairing their ship submerged underwater, he said. French testified about his work on UFOs in 1952 in front of 6 former members of Congress at the citizen hearing in 2013. He recalled seeing 2 alien crafts below the water surface, 6 meters from the shoreline. That's about, 20 feet? It's nothing. He also saw 2 extraterrestrials near the ships. He remembered the water was clear so he could see those beings doing something at the bottom of the craft. Quote, "The water was fairly clear and I could see without any trouble. They were not down at the bottom of the seabed. They were about halfway down," French said. He believed the aliens were repairing the ships and tested them before leaving. Whatever happened in Newfoundland is the classic UFO story ever given by the Army official. Even though he was chosen to debunk UFO stories, he undoubtedly said that it was a UFO and there were extraterrestrials. The idea that the ocean is inhabited by extraterrestrials can be backed by these incidents. An incredible account of spotting underwater UFOs, or underwater submerged objects, USOs as we call them, was shared by former gunner's mate John Bogman, who served in the U.S. Navy from 2008 to 2013. He was stationed on the United States Navy's 3rd Nimitz-class supercarrier, the USS Carl Vinson, in 2010, when he first saw Tic Tac UFO underwater. He said, "I was staring into the water from above when a large flat white Tic Tac object approximately 20 feet in length suddenly appeared in my view below me, moving right and darting into the depths as far as it appeared. I could not really comprehend what I saw. It was definitely a solid object, but when it descended, its forward end rapidly collapsed and in on itself and disappeared." Another USO encounter occurred with the crew of the Soviet submarine in the south of the Pacific Ocean at a depth of 260 meters. The 6 disc-like objects were moving towards the submarine at the speed of 426 km an hour. That's, as we can understand, a whopping speed. The crew could not escape their pursuit, and the commander ordered the crew to rise to the surface. The crew saw that through the periscope that the objects came out of the water and took off at an absurdly fast speed. There are classic alien abduction cases where the witnesses recalled being taken to secret underwater bases. The abduction of Betty Anderson Luca is considered to be one of the most documented cases of the history of ufology. The woman from Massachusetts experienced multiple abductions, and her case is widely studied by UFO researchers. During one of her hypnotic regression sessions, Betty remembered one of the early abductions that occurred to her in her childhood. It took place in 1950 when she was taken from her home into a spacecraft as usual, but this time the craft was flying towards an ocean or sea. She was terrified that the craft would crash into the water, but the ship submerged into the water and entered into a kind of a tunnel. Betty could see everything underwater as the place was filled with light. And next, Filiberto Cardetta's encounter, where he had claimed that he had been taken to a secret underwater hangar, and interestingly, his abduction was witnessed by his friend's family. And he remembered being taken to some unknown beach where he saw deep blue water. He said one of the aliens got out of the object and opened a secret tunnel, from where a similar craft came and flew away. The craft which he was in went into the tunnel with great speed underwater. Soon he was at the secret large hangar under the sea, he claims. And this is on Calypto Spark by Vicky Vermehausen Wise. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.